What number are we on? 218? Yeah. Beats, beats, and beats, and beats. Super 1 Elena, Super 3 Ryu. Super 1 Elena is neat. Elena's Super 1 and Super 2 have pretty much identical confirms, i.e. none. Which means that all of the confirming has to come from either your parries or your punish scenarios. You can get like a little bit of confirming action in low strong as a standalone confirm, or using ooh. Hey Pimente. I feel like, oh, a very meaty overhead. But apart from that, her ability to confirm is pretty garbo. And neither of them juggle very well either, while all her combo starters are juggles, they're launchers. This is my favorite too. I only got to watch some of Capcom Cup, but it was pretty godlike. I really liked Daigo versus Sako. Unfortunately, I worked today, so I've missed out on a bunch of it. I'll probably be catching up on that tomorrow. I'm working all tomorrow, actually, so I'm going to miss all of finals day. Which is a shame, because the finals are literally going to be happening like less than 10 miles from my house. It's like I could just go there and fucking reach down and grab Daigo's balls. The strong is a nice little button to hit in this game for almost everyone. Whiffs really fast. Whiff buttons build meter. Whiff medium and hard buttons. That was a mistake, really. It encourages turtle play. That was probably super punishable. Elena could almost certainly have supered that. Elena super is pretty quick. Super 1. Oh yeah, but the really big difference between Elena Super 1 and Super 2 is that... Oh no. Super 1 is a smidge better in juggles, i.e. like basically not at all. Super 2 does dramatically more damage on the ground. Super 2 has a dramatically longer super bar and only holds 2 instead of 3. So Super 1 Elena has a lot more EX, although they both have a fuck ton. And Super 2 Elena does more damage in a single punish scenario, but less damage, or like, is less likely to have a super. Nice. He was praying that Ryu wasn't going to be doing 4 parries on Wake Up. Because literally the only reason Ryu would do 4 parries on Wake Up was to beat that. Very high level Street Fighter V is absolutely beautiful, but it is extremely robotic. I feel very similarly about very high level Street Fighter 4. Very high level Street Fighter 3 is not robotic at all. It's neat to see like that amazing consistency and some really like weird, crazy, hyper specific stuff. Random fucking matchup knowledge. I'm not really sure how to feel about X copying Elena. I'm pretty sure it's bad. Elena mostly is footsies, and she can't really kill you quickly. And you need to kill the opponent quickly with X copy 12. So he should get her to lower health before he X copies. Or else he's not gonna win in time. KF is very non-robotic, but even then it's more robotic than some other ones. KF 14 has the just defending, which is nice. This was a fairly good time to activate, I think. He's fairly likely to... He only needs like 2 hits. 3. Then he was fairly likely to get them before the round ended. That was like a good use of X copy Elena. That was the right time to use that. That could have juggled. He was a bit early. That fucking shitty punish. That's almost as good as 12 can do. His correct punish was probably EXX. But I don't know, because Lena wasn't point blank. EXX, all the actions should honestly have a vacuum effect. It should pull you in with each hit instead of pushing you out with each hit. All Rhino Horns have incredibly tall hitboxes, which 12 hates. It's safe. It's like pretty harmless to throw out on an airborne opponent, against an airborne opponent as Elena. And it leads to a juggle. Interesting. He's at a bar, but that's not a huge factor. He's basically like an overhead and a sweep from winning. Or like 2 low medium kicks. You've got to think about Elena in damage in terms of stuff like that. He's like a jump fierce and a, or like a jump roundhouse and like a sweep, you know. Two throws from a victory. Oh no! The worst stand fierce in the universe. That was a really bad like dash and attack, or it was a good dash and attack, but stand fierce made it like, I don't know if stand fierce made it whiff or if it was just gonna whiff anyway. Yo, I got a cup of eggnog on my desk here. Can I get a shout out to eggnog? This is that Kusoryu fellow. Nice punish. Jump jab on the fucking full screen Tatsu. What a wonderful world we live in. Ugh. When you have a character like 12, I feel like I talked about something like this fairly recently. Characters with very long, dedicated actions are often too busy to whiff punish, which makes them oftentimes very, it's a very common symptom of low tiers in various fighting games. 12's recovery on the whole is quite good, but the fact is he often can't react to like unsafe things the opponent does with the correct punish while pushing his offense. 12 can actually just walk forward to go under a Denjin. It's pretty funny looking, but you can't do it. You can't do it on wake up. You need to be walking forward for a few frames before you get the fireball invincibility. So it's not that helpful, but it's pretty funny looking. 12 has low profile on his walk. It would actually be fairly cool if that came back. There it is. 12 has no good way out of that. Oh no. Brandy X, he didn't want to transform. And he's dead. Oh yeah, I didn't adjust my window for my chat box. Time out while I do that. There we go. Glad I remembered to do that before it became a problem. Ooh, very cool. See how that he walked forward and the jump roundhouse hit as a cross up, but 12 landed on the same side. 12 can get some weird stuff like that. Jump roundhouse is a very good air normal. The dashing. This is a re without meter. Nice. Ryu is fairly good without bar. Oh man, this eggnog is so thick. I feel like I'm drinking a glass of 12. Oh, that very low air dive was really good. I always say this whenever this matchup happens, but this is win in 90 seconds or lose in 10. Twelve's footsies are really fucking good here, but the damage of Q is so high. And it's hard to prevent him from getting his taunts up because any anti-air dash punch or any jump fierce he gets, or any anti-air hard slaps, There are like several scenarios where he can just get a taunt that 12 can't prevent. And even then, like, he can just get taunts mid-screen and taunt, and like 12, the worst thing he can do is just hit you with a stand roundhouse. Or like an EX dive, like it doesn't hurt that badly, or a needle. 12 can't really make you regret anything. His damage is too shit. Oh no. Okay. He needs to, like, never... Yeah, oh my god, what did he do? He tried to parry. I was about to say he needs to never touch the ground. And that's what he was trying to do there. He knew as well. Oh, that was so close. He actually had the win opportunity too. If that dash punch hit, it would have been good damage plus full screen carry plus taunt. So scary. Ah yes, Russell Crowe. Ah yes, Edward Snowden. Got that Edward Snowden cut. Oh. If I looked like Russell Crowe, I'd be happy. What up, Treble? That did so much damage. Alright, if Q has high damage, X copy Q has even higher damage. Did he really just go for the low dash? This 12 has like a decent everyone. This 12 player, like every character he transforms into, he has like an okay knowledge of the footsies. Unfortunately, he has to play the rush down though, and Q doesn't normally kind of do this even in the mirror. That was actually a giant choke to dash punch there, I feel. That was like a fairly simple parry to do, and he couldn't do anything to make it like more than that one parry. And if he got parried, he would lose, and if he didn't do anything, then 12 was about to transform back, and it was a guaranteed win. 12 does not get to choose when he transforms back. It's like when Arthur loses the armor in MBC, but worse, because you can juggle, you can hit him with more than just like... Arthur, you have to use an OTG. 12, you can hit him with the world, and instead of like, you know, he takes bonus damage. I don't understand why like most of the shit in MBC they were just like, okay, you can only use this OTG like once per combo, and then Doom you can just use like Stand Roundhouse a billion times. What the fuck were they thinking? Why does no one else ever seem to think that Doom is good? I mean, everyone thinks Doom is good, but why does no one else ever like how is Doom in like fucking a third of teams? And no one ever is like, oh my god, Doom is so strong. Everyone just treats Doom like he's like fair. Everyone's always like, you gotta be skillful to make a comeback with Doom. It's like, shit, you gotta be skillful to make a comeback with anyone. I've seen a lot of fucking 1 versus 3 comebacks as Doom. Oh! I hate that when I see Remis do that. I don't hate it, it's not a terrible idea. I don't dislike when Remis do it, I actually usually, like, you know. The problem is it's a needless risk. Like, even if you... This is the best case scenario, okay? 1, you do the cold blue kick, then you EX uppercut, and it works. That's half of the best case scenario. And then you do cold blue kicks for the rest of the match, and they never, ever, like, contest them. Because they're afraid of the EX Rising Rage Flash. That is the absolute best case scenario. That's still not that good. You still gotta spend the bar. Cold blue kicks don't do that much chip. They still leave you minus. Like even if you don't, like even if the opponent's not trying to punish them or like, you know. It's just not super rewarding. Remy's like better off not even entering the mix-up. When you factor in the fact that his health is kind of low, his stun is the worst in the game, and his zoning is pretty good. It's like, why would I even just do cold blue kicks like that? Thanks. So far, everyone has unanimously liked it, or so they claim. When you drink the eggnog. Oh, what the fuck was that? That looked like parry into stand strong into super. But he didn't actually confirm the Sand Strong. But you don't need to confirm that super because it's safe. I did not see the 1 key Super Mario 64 task. Koblo kicks are minus. Ah, a punish. Ah, see, that's the mix-up he entered. The only follow-up for Ryu EX Tatu in the corner in this game is a Super 1. It's like a Super and an EX. That's a car throw, I think. Eggnog is beyond P good. Eggnog is V good. Koblo kick has a nice hitbox. Good. I bought some eggnog, and the nutrition information said 210 calories. Had to pause to sneeze. The nutrition information said 210 calories. And I was like, oh, that's not so bad. And then I checked the serving size and it said 1/2 cup. I was like, oh. Poor Remy. They said that they already said they're going to have an announcement. It's almost certainly going to be whoever the mysterious Shungoku Satsu user is. Crouch Fierce. You have to do that so early. That was like the right time to do it. Wind back if you're watching this on archive and fucking look at how early he hit that button. Crouch Fierce is slow. Damn, it's weird to think that they did that, and it's weird to think it was one of the best-selling 3DS games for a long fucking time. Because the 3DS at that point had no games. I think that was the second game even remotely worth buying on the 3DS after Fire Emblem Awakening. That's unsafe on everyone else. But Hugo is special. He's almost got him to... Yeah, got the stun. Tricky. Capcom free pick one. It's long been a thing among the modders of various game to remove charge time and show chargeless combos. We'll probably get the reveal of whoever the first Season 2 character is tomorrow, and we'll probably get the playable build at PlayStation Experience. That's my guess. And if Capcom has some other announcement, like SFX 2, like MBC4. Like Darkstalkers 4. Like Street Fighter EX4. Dude, how funny would it be if it was like a fucking giant 4 on the screen, and then it just slowly faded in Street Fighter EX4. It's like the 4 that no one's asking for. EX3 wasn't very well received at all. Oh wait, PlayStation Experience is the same time as Capcom Cup? I thought that wasn't... That's really tomorrow? I didn't realize that. If they're on the same day, then I don't know which one's gonna have it first. It's probably just fucking Akuma. People wouldn't mind a 4th version of this game. People wouldn't mind an Alpha 4. People wouldn't mind a Darkstalkers 4. People wouldn't mind an MVC 4. People probably wouldn't even know what the fuck a Street Fighter EX is. Rival Schools 2 already exists. It's called Project Justice. It's like not even a fucking fake game, that's a real game. I wonder if they're gonna ask like an Akuma player to like come up to the stage and play. I wonder if they're gonna have like Tokido go up there and it's like here's Akuma, do something cool. The Alpha people who played Alpha moved on rather easily to Street Fighter 4. Remember Ryan Hart versus DiCapri? Combo Fiend DiCapri. Some characters get turned around when they get up for their dizzy animation, depending on what the knockdown was. It's kind of a weird little thing. Alex gets bonus damage on turned around opponents though, for some of his attacks. Namely that suplex, I guess. Specifically that suplex. The stuns. No, it didn't. Eat. Remember the beeping? That was back when DiCapri beeped. I wish they kept that almost. There's a distinct lack of beeping in current Street Fighter. Still be Paula Paula, she beeps. King of Fighters wins again. King of Fighters also has a playable dinosaur. That wiggle shimmy. Ooh. Oh yeah, that'll be like the last Marvel Excellent Adventures. The Towards Fierce was pretty nice. Towards Strong isn't an overhead in this game, but it has such a fucking nice hitbox. That button. It's really quick and it's very fucking tall. It's like Alex's best, it's one of his best normals in a vacuum. But it doesn't cancel. And it's better or worse against certain characters depending on their hitboxes. It's good at counterpoking some characters. Like, it's really good against Hugo because it catches his jump at pretty much every part of Hugo's jump. But like, Ken at the highest points of his jump is taller than Towards Strong. Higher up than Towards Strong. Ooh. He just tried to punish a DP with Towards Fierce. That's like something really awful in this game that would be really good in Street Fighter 5. This recording way predates Street Fighter 5 though. And by way predates I mean like a few months. October 2015. Hi Waka. Hi Lunatic Soul. All that damage, missed his DP. Arc System Works vs. Capcom is the game that I've never even thought of that would actually be really cool. Would we get Guilty Gear or Blast Blue or both? I was about to say he could have juggled a super for the kill, but he didn't have super. Whenever Ken gets a light DP, and the opponent has a smidge, a spec, Ken can juggle DP super for that spec. I'm pretty sure ArcSys does a whole bunch of visual novels. Whoa, that DP. Nice red parry. Good red parries are really the mark of a master of this game. Skill ceiling is so good. So high. You should get an arcade stick if you're serious. Even if you're not serious. In the grand scheme of things, an arcade stick is a fairly permanent decision. It might cost, you know, $160 or whatever, but you're gonna have that arcade stick for years and years and years. I've got an arcade stick just like 3 inches to the right of me. It's a TE. And it's got a signature from Daigo on the bottom of it. Because I saw him at the 37th Reloaded and gave him my Sharpie. And for some reason he interpreted that as writing his name on my stick. Yeah, an arcade stick won't actually make you suddenly better. In fact, it'll probably make you suddenly worse. But it's good in the long term. A $30 stick, Jesus Christ. That's like budget hoary. That's not good. What's the absolute cheapest you should get? Probably like a Quamba Q1 is extremely cheap. And that's still like a good stick. 30 is really fucking cheap. Look at Quamba Q1s. Look up this stick. This is one of the sticks I have. It's not super expensive. It's not super heavy. It's fairly comfortable to use. I was not actually, that was the joke. I expected Daigo to sign my stick. I much prefer a small light stick to a heavy one. Chroma Q1's my favorite stick I've ever used. I was really garbage on stick for a long time, and then I changed from a square gate to an octo gate, and I got a lot better. No, I didn't. I used shoulders. Or I either used shoulders if it was a hard button, or I used, if it was medium button, medium to light, I did, I just put my fingers between the two buttons, and I pushed down. But I did it with slight wave preference on the medium button over the light one. It sounds kind of weird, but I was actually very consistent with it. I play a fuck ton of charge, and I still hate square gates. I'm like better, I'm fine as a charge player on stick as either one. But I'm so much better at motion characters using an octo gate. A gate is like the thing that limits the motions, the movements of your stick inside the paneling. There's 3 kinds of gates that anyone uses. There's square gates, which are square, octo gates, which are octagons, and round gates, which are circles. An octagon will feel like there are an octagon will feel like there are 8 limits. A circle will feel like there are no limits, and a square will feel like there are four. It basically just like determines the amount of feedback you get, but it also loosely affects how much you can like. It loosely affects how well the way you control your character. Fuck. It's not very hard at all to get into fighting games. The main problem is it's fun while you don't. No, there is no main problem. Just do it. Just do it, damn it. It's satisfying as fuck. The problem is you just have to stick with it. Results don't come quick. Well, they can come quick. It all depends on your practicing. When you're improving at fighting games, it's often a whole lot of rapid improvement, then a whole lot of plateauing, then a whole lot of rapid improvement. You can have more or less plateauing depending on how well you consider the way you think. Everyone really sucks when they're new to fighting games. Your pad is probably helping in how much you suck, but switching to stick will not make you not suck. It's still good to have stick. It's good to not have to work against bad muscle memory. That was my mistake because I got good on pad, and then I could never switch. That background noise. Nice good old turtle Akuma. Love me some turtle Akuma. There's a very good chance you'll get a stick and feel even more lost. A stick is a good investment, and it will help in the long run, but there's a very good chance that it won't feel like it's helping. I don't play on stick like almost ever. I do every now and then, just to remind myself. Oh my god, empty jump parry and anti-air parry probably. He's dead. Even if he got the parry on that, there wasn't enough time. Oh boy, YSB versus one of Hugo's worst matchups. Most people who play on stick, it really depends on the person. Some people play on stick with like four fingers, some people play with 3, some people play with 2. A lot of old school players use very few fingers. Like my friend Cruz only like ever uses just his I think his index finger and thumb for literally everything. Kick on top, what the fuck? Punches are always on top, dog. I can't use my pinky for any of that. There are people who use 5. They exist. They're not so rare. I was talking about axing the pinky, not the thumb. I play with 4 fingers, but my ring finger is really useless. I have a very unoptimized, ugly way of holding a stick. I could play some Street Fighter 5 sets, but you'll have to catch me at the right time. Unless you want to, like, you know, make it worth my time.
もう一個スクリュー。この状況だともうね、大崎マックなんですよね。なるほど。これでも難しいですね。これ殺しに行ける圏内なのか、はい、なんかじっくりなんかするのか。そうですね。でもこれヒューゴでじっくりやろうとすると逆にあれなのか、相手が立ち回り有利すぎて。そうですね。でまあこのやっぱゲージも溜まっちゃうんで。
That was nice. That's a very good anti-air.
攻めないわけにはいかない。
DP into super. Someone explain to this guy what making it worth my time would be.
ちょっとでもなんか合気がやっぱ有利になっちゃうと体力的にそういう絵面になっちゃいますもんね。やっぱこれをこの追いかけるのって結構大変かもね。はい。体力リードされたらそこをまくるのは結構。
I don't actually know if Q1 is PS4 compatible. I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm pretty sure that right now Street Fighter 5 has like no. It has nothing to accept like anything but PS4 sticks. I'm pretty sure there's no neither Capcom nor Sony has done anything to fix that. That's like the normal one. You need full meter to do that though. By the first super you need to have 2 full bars. I don't want your nudes, but there are people who pay me to train them. He's done. This is a first style parry. He couldn't do the damage in time. I've never seen this Akuma before. I'm gonna attempt to. What's this? What's this? Denja Ross. Dangerous. Ichigo? I don't remember that kanji. I've seen it before. It's a counter. I don't remember what it's a counter for. Ichidai. This Dudley is Totsuka Sensei, who is one of the best Dudleys. He's probably like the 3rd best Dudley, or perhaps the 4th. So this is like, well, I don't know. There are probably better Dudleys now. I don't know. That was like true a long time ago. I don't know the current Dudley order of like skill. This Akuma is really good though. Beautiful. Aww. What's a Jibbo? I remember Jibbo. He played Gen. I play with joystick like wine. Wait, Jibbo and Automatic are the same person? You gotta be... No way. I know who both of those people are. They are really one person. I see Automatic's tweets all the time. A first to 50 in Street Fighter 5. I don't fucking know. That sounds like a several hours endeavor. Shit, Automatic is Jibbo. Oh my lord. How neat. Next you're gonna tell me Mooney is actually Befale. Whoa. Reversal Tatsu is so cool. Makoto can literally like touch of death without a Makoto's touch of death's easy as fuck. She can almost touch of Dizzy without being on her side of the screen. She can do like 80% Dizzy in a single Karakusa. MK9 and Skullgirls. I've never really played Skullgirls competitively at all, but I'm pretty good at MK9. I'm like better than most people know. I play Reptile. I have an X-copied strategy from Chris G with some of my own little tweaks. Picture Chris G's Guile and then picture my Guile. Now picture Chris G's Reptile and you have a pretty good understanding of my Reptile. Whoa. Oh, that combo's so tight. That was a medium Tatsu hard DP. That's really... The difficulty of that depends on your opponent. Makoto's one of the easier characters to do it on. I play MK9, I played MK9, and I played MKX, and I also played Injustice. Oh man, Ninja, that's old school. Whoa. Fightcade is one of the best ways to, if you want to get into competitive fighting games, Fightcade is like such an easy and like good way to start. Between Street Fighter 2 and fucking KOF 98 and 2002 and fucking this game. I did not have a tag team. Yes, that was like super tricky to not die. He was like in a horrible situation there. People are hella good on Fightcade. That's funny because when I play Third Strike on Fightcade, I can't find anyone good at all. I just find a bunch of trashy baddies. Huh, he got close roundhouse. Probably rolled the wrong direction or something, I don't know. There are people in the Third Strike lobby at Fightcade who are better than me. Oh, is that the end? Wait, exhibition. The only two people I play with any sort of regularity who are capable of beating me in Third Strike are Exotech and Cruz. Why would you play the Dreamcast port when you can just play Fightcade? The Dreamcast port is fine. Except that it's on Dreamcast. So like, you know, if you have a fucking stick that works on Dreamcast, power to you. It's technically speaking more accurate than the PS2 and Xbox versions. Barely. I actually played Herob in a long ass set. I won a first to 5 and started clowning around. I picked Super 2 and Super 1 a lot, but Super 3 was my way of winning. I don't think Rove is as good as I am, but he's close. But if you want to see me play him, you can just watch it on YouTube. The PS3 version is like perfectly accurate now. So is the Xbox 360 version. But you might as well play Fightcade. Cross Tekken has harder inputs than SF5.
大変
Much harder.
はいおー
うまい
か
だが投げで暴れてってここは殴り合ってます殴り合ってますこれは切れるかもしれないパールさんが今のはじゃんけんスパークだったマジか構わねえ
Ah, he had a crouching opponent mid-screen.
ボタンを押し続ける意志力だったけどこれ全然ゲージにビビってませんねボタン押しまくって
PS3 and 360 third strike is like perfectly accurate.
ここはうますぎる
Even the very, very minor inaccuracies before were just like meter length being slightly dishonest. Like functionally it worked exactly the same way. It was just the super bars were slightly different lengths. But you got like meter exactly the same amounts and could EX at exactly the same amounts. And exactly the same amount was like a full bar. So it didn't have any gameplay implications at all.
ここはとりあえず発動取ってガードが硬い
Arcade is not just good enough, it's like a literal perfect port of the arcade version. It's just the arcade version. This Chun-Li, I don't recognize that character, it's rice. I don't remember how to pronounce it. It's uncooked rice. It's not Gohan, it's not that kind of rice. It's the other one.
さあこれでじゃあファイナルラウンド
強キャラ
相手いいキャラ使ってるからな
間違いないですね
さあこれではもう今日の最後のエキシビションコロさんが遅れて登場なんでコロは今日大将でした
はい
いや
さあもうガンガンはめてもらって
ーですねただコロさんあんまり
Not rice like a bag of rice to take home to your family.
っぽいんで
なるほど
Rice like I just harvested some
で
rice.
すよね
Ooh.
あここは当たったでん
I actually really like the look of the new meters and the new portraits and stuff in OE.
がないんであんま
And the
り
new
ボタン
art.
を押したくないあの画面はじ
He can win. He can win.
やばいやつ赤いやつか
見えない
He can win.
見えないやつや
He got it.
見えない
見えない
熟練度が
It's not Gosha.
見えなかったコロ強えなさあコンボ
I do not remember the reading for uncooked rice.
とりあえずゲージを貯めて投げてさあ相手これ画面見てんのか見てねえのかわかんねえ
But that's not it.
マジで
Ah, that felt good.
さあ
That's unblockable.
あれではめんの
You have to quick stand out of that, and for whatever reason he didn't. Dropped
帰
it.
ってきたね
Got crouch strong when he wanted to stand strong.
弾を消してあ
That's a very babby mistake.
さあしっ
さあ
かり歩いて
この前風呂さあ切れてる
Ugh.
切れてますあれは
He just been raw super to punish, but it could have been dash in, crouch medium, kick super. But he instead tried to walk in and he didn't make it in time.
さあ
It doesn't change color with your color choice, but in mirrors it shows the colors under the health bar. Oh my. I don't think so.
3ラウンド目は一撃リーチまでいける
さあポイント
あー綺麗な花火が上がった
Hoyuk-sen doesn't actually have any invincibility to the best that I can tell, it's just really fast. So if you've already got your attack out before Hoyuk-sen comes out, you can beat it.
画面ちゃんとやって
多分移動投げ
That stand strong was like 1 or 2 frames from hitting. And that Hoyuk-sen was like, you know, 3 or 4 frames from hitting, or fucking, I don't know, 2, but however fast it is. He didn't super cancel that?
さあこっから
これはお互い情報見えないやつさあハガンシュ
最強最強
さあコロさんは負けに来た
さあ今日の優勝はじゃあパールライスさんで
いや最強でしたね
最強でしたキャラ差まあしょうがないとキャラ差だと
キャラ差ですね
じゃあということでじゃあ本日の東大戦はこれにて終了ですかね
はいどうも皆
じゃあ
さんありが
皆さん
とうございま
ありがとうございましたお疲れ様でしたお疲れ様ですいや
Any of what super sequence?
さあ
なんだあの花火
Matan.
それだけそれだけしか当たんねえんだあれどんだけ相手依存なんだよお前ちゃんとやれよ
I was reading the chat.
お互い情報
Oh, that? He just thought Chun-Li was either gonna cross up or,
最強
like,
最強
さあコロさんは負け
was
に来た
anticipating the overhead.
さあ今日の優勝はじゃあ
Uni?
パールライスさんで
There must be another reading to that, because that's not the reading I recognize.
まあしょうがないと
I just typed in uni here, and it's not even showing up as one of the readings.
これにて終了ですか
Are
ね
you sure it's uni?
どうも皆
じ
さんありが
ゃあ皆さん
とうございまし
ありがとうございましたお疲れ様でしたお疲れ様です
I can't type uni and get that character. I gotta look at this now. No, that's just the Unicode. Where is the Kun reading? Where is the On reading? Kome. There we go. I think that's it. Yup, Kome. Anyway, where were we? Let's watch another. I knew it meant rice. That was never a question.
22日ソフリーサード東西戦始めていきたいと思います
I just forgot the reading for uncooked rice for that character. Ugh.
ということで本日は11対11でかつ本日沖縄からのスペシャル
I don't know this fucking 12's name.
白黒チュンリーが今日はいるので富永さん
It's a place. His name is a place. It's a last name. His name is just a last name. It's something Da, or perhaps something Ta. Ta means field. Very common in names. It's actually so common that the Japanese John Doe uses it. The Japanese John Doe is Tanaka Taro, which is just an incredibly common ass name. I mean, it's not that combo is not incredibly common, but Taro is a very common first name, and Tanaka is a very common last name. So Tanaka Taro is just a very common name.
あんまり回せない感じですよね
そうですね、まあ、12SA よりむしろ EX 技の方が強いまであるから、まあ、そんなとこありません
あるある
EX の続きとかかなり優秀じゃないですか、
ねシャカシャカとかね
まあ、
ツンツンとかさあここは
Very tricky. I have no idea how that hit.
ここは EX
I don't know if that hit on the front or back or what.
なんとか立ち回りかけて倒せるか
ポン取りたいしかし波動電陣が出ないか
投げてからのおー勝利権しっかり返してるこれは
Look at that optimal punish. Back throw. 12 is really neat.
さあ1本ずつ取ってゲージ状況はアクソリュさんが若干リード
これワンチャンね投げて
Whoa! He grabbed Ryu on the frame that he threw the fireball.
まだマスも最近竜使って電陣いけるようになったっつって
電陣波動を回すようにはなったんです
Every now and then I do like back throw, meaty, against people who are resolute on their blocking. And every now and then I fight a Ryu or an Akuma who does wake up super out of desperation, and my back throw will grab them out of their super animation, because neither of those supers have any sort of invincibility.
メインが豪気じゃないですかでサブがユンとユリアンなんですよやっぱ両方自分からいけるじゃないですかやっぱきついっすね
まあでも
Or at least not throw invincibility.
意外と使ってみたら難しかったとおと言ってる間に
柴さんが
柴田さんの勝利
EX だけで倒しました
EX だけ
さあタルさんはアーツが XNDL あ、違う違う違う間違えたスピニングビートスピニングビートあ、俺は変わった変わった
That card would translate rather well into Street Fighter V, honestly.
マジか
But they would change a lot of, his normals would be pretty much intact, I think. They would change his special moves, though. I think we already had this conversation, though.
全キャラコピーだと思ったんですけど
His half circle forward kick would never make it,
普通のニードルの方ですよね
and one of his overheads would go.
ミドルですね
マジかよさあこっから柴田さんの置き攻
通
めが一
常目だけで結構モリモリ減らしてるぞ痛い痛い
下段からの
まあ確かにこれ12側の攪拌が安いからエレナ側のかなり強引な二択が
Yeah, before Season 2 is all World Warriors.
さあここは しっかりタルさんがしゃがみガード
Oh my god, guys, this is so embarrassing. We forgot to add Honda and Blanca, and Sagat and Akuma.
すごい位置でリンクスが出てるが、
Fucking Fei Long.
でもわかんないガチャが
We forgot all these Street Fighter 2 characters.
来なくなるやつださあ体力は5分ぐらい
Isn't it funny that like Fei Long and Cammy were introduced in the same update that also released DJ and T-Hawk?
あボタン押しちゃうよね相手
And yet, like, Fei Long and Cammy are in every game.
ライトラン取って
Fei Long actually isn't in every game. Fei Long actually, like, has a hard time making it.
なんとかしのいだけど
Fei Long is a beloved character who is, not extremely common.
タルさんが中間距離で意外とやっぱ
He wasn't in CVS2, right? He wasn't in Alpha until the console port of Alpha 3.
前に
Um,
引っかかったら
he wasn't in Street Fighter 3, naturally.
攻撃強いし、あと
He was in vanilla Street Fighter 4. That was pretty good.
かかるじゃないですか EX とか。
あ
あれ追撃できるじゃない。
He wasn't in Cross Tekken.
前に触れだからガードされてもね。
Wow, Fei Long is not in that many games. What a weird thought.
さあタルタイ連携。
連携出ましたね
やばい
さあ連
ね。
携が出てここは滑空に中足が中間が当たる
I'm not sure Fei isn't in CVS2. I just can't picture him. I don't think I've ever seen anyone play Fei in CVS2. CVS2 mostly just steals the alpha versions of characters, and there is no alpha Fei, or at least there wasn't when CVS2 was made.
タルさんと番長は結構
Fei was not in the EX games,
ああそうなんですね。まあじゃあお互い
but most characters, most Street Fighter characters weren't. Just a few random Street Fighter 2 characters.
僕ねバインさんとやりすぎてエレラの特定の技をガードすると EX までと前ブロしちゃう癖が
あ
ついてます。
I think the problem is Fei's design.
本当に。
Fei has a, like, yeah, it's a Bruce Lee reference, but even compared to other Bruce Lee references in other fighting games, Fei has a very fucking basic design.
それ全然違いますよ。
全然違うよ
Fei is not in Alpha 2.
赤はあんまり意識
He's only in the console port of Alpha 3.
と思いますけど、いや
I'm fairly certain of
中
this.
じゃないですよ多分。
そっか
EX だけ中断でしょ多分。
あマジで
あれだと思うんですけど。
両方中断じゃなかったっけあこれは
The console port of Alpha 3 added every single Street Fighter 2 character that wasn't already in it.
がこれ当たっててもなんか投げがかっ
So you got like fucking DJ and T-Hawk and shit.
微妙だと思いますけどね。
微妙ですか
しかもしゃがんで当たってたように見えましたけど。マジだかな。
運が悪いな
まあでも微妙な当たりだと逃げバックステとかバックで
I haven't watched some competitive Alpha 3 in a long time.
いいところ当たりましたね
The PS1 Alpha 3 is indeed the console version.
愛されるね。
ゲームに愛され
Liu
る
Kang is more interesting than Fei Long.
ゲームに
visually.
愛されてる
There, I said it.
ですよねしゃがみ大パンが
まあ
That headband goes a long way.
難しいね。
Also, the chicken noises are excellent. The gobbling.
もいいんだけどエレナが投げ
Turkey noises.
強いからね。あんまり鳥かごに
Yen Ingrid and Eagle are also console exclusive.
まあ厳密シーンルシファーもカルバインさん相手にしたらもうエレ
I feel like there's another one still.
出さないとやばいと
相手だ。
言ってた
やっぱり結構きついと思いますよ。
They're from Alpha 3 Upper.
そんなレベル。おやっとタックルに反撃。
これ確定ですよね
余裕で帰りますね。
余裕で入ります
さすがにマイナーなんだ 8, 8以上で外足が余裕で確定するから、まあ、10ぐらいあるんじゃないの。
結構隙あるね
ありますあります。
Liu Kang might be my favorite Bruce Lee.
いくら突進力がなくてもさすがにこの距離だとうわーっと
さあどうなるお投げて
I like Kung Lao too.
多分それ動
I feel like the. I've never, like. I don't know.
投げが冴えるがヘブン
I never set out to like the Shaolin guys,
上から
but I kind of like all the Shaolin guys.
さあ結構ヘブン
They would normally be characters I wouldn't give a fuck about.
そうにしているが縦を
挟んで
挟んでいく
The actual characters I don't give a fuck about are the Special Forces guys. Sonya? Nope, not interesting at all. Jax? Only very barely, and only from a gameplay perspective. Cyrax is pretty cool, but that's because in addition to being Special Forces, he's also a cool robot ninja.
あたりになるとかちゃんと押さないと
どうなんすかね。間合いの問題
Whoa, that dash under the mirror.
ダッシュに
That was brave.
あーしっかり
Nice parry.
それはダメタルさん
バレていましたんだ。
あの
I feel like there's another Special Forces guy. I guess Kenshi is Special Forces in modern timeline, and I think he was eventually Special Forces at the end of last timeline.
直張りになって ってしまってガードされちゃう。まあ強いんです
I don't know if there is an actual resurrection of Great Kung Lao. Honestly, we know for a fact that both Liu Kang and Kung Lao are descendants of the Great Kung Lao.
なんとかしのいだか。
ゲージ状況的にはね、かなり
そうだね
厳しいですね。
ユリアンのゲージがないね。
でもユリアンってやっぱゲージ貯めに行くには触るしかないけど、触るとワンボールないんだよね。
Sedum has a command grab, but it's not a SPD, or it's not a typical SPD.
テリブルからのハイジャンプで逃げて、これはめくり
Most
確定してますね。
most Mortal Kombat characters are more interesting than most other fighting game characters. There, I said it.
いやーきつい
さあ
きついきつい
ここは
きつい。
バレット出さなかった。
あもうなどっか
Mortal Kombat has fundamentally good character design, and also very good characterization in story, and now very good characterization in interactables,
その後
in pre-match intros and shit.
ラウンドアーチの後に
The children are very uninteresting characters, who were made interesting by excellent characterization.
何パーセントぐらいでしょうかね。
7割ぐらいだと思う。
7割。
Jackie is probably the worst one, and she's still really cool.
見たら落ち着いて前前で。
そうですね。見て
Cassie is literally waifu material.
採取していきましょう。さあ続いて登場がバルジャンさん。さあでもこれはタルさん時報ですね、まだ。そろそろこれ。
Takeda's
見たいですね。
endearing.
バルジャンさん、多分これレイミーだとかなりきついんで。お
The regular SPD one is not very regular,
やっぱ出てたでしょ。今来てたでしょ。
来てましたね、今ね。
and the dash stab grab is not a grab at all. It's just a 360 motion.
ラウンドアーチでもこれラウンドアーチを出ません。これは
それね、当たってるよく出てくるんだ。ガードの時あんま出てこない。いや
I can't believe that back Kronos didn't kill.
本当だ本当だ。
Poor Lena.
じゃあこれあれなんだ。ラウンドアーチが
当たると当たる振りが多分でかいからだと思うんだけど EX マレットがかなり飛ぶ。
ガードすると出てこないけど。
当たると出てくる。
ああなるほどね。
That looked like a shimmy parry.
あわかりました。富永さんもそれ取り入れていっていいですか。
Shimmies also in this game give the opponent time to whiff a parry, if that makes any sense.
いや
俺もあれやりたいじゃん。
おっと今あえて変えてきました。
あーさあタルさんネタが実はバレちゃって。
Johnny seemed like a bro.
これは
Johnny has always been a bro.
さあ出ませんね。
Johnny has consistently been the best MK character.
届かないとかそういうのもある。
In a game full of great characters, Johnny is the best.
当たった時もその
前次第。
はい。
バインさんが今4人抜いてますからね。
はい
半分近くやられてます。
今日はこの門番としてやはりしっかり仕事をしていきたいとサルバインさん先ほど言っておりましたんで。
これもでもオロも
That was nice. Ready to late throw. Caught a normal.
ああそうですね。これバナオが
バナはいつも切れてますもん。
切れてますね。
オールには
キラキエレナに切れてますからね。
ああいやーどうなんだろう。
キラキさんって言わないといけない。
でもなんかアーツがヒーリングじゃないところを見ると優しいのかもしれません
そうです
ね。
ね。さあ今のは当たったけどちょっと遠かった。
A lot of fighting games just have characters where 100% of how much you can glean off of them is just like their visual design, with almost you don't like know almost anything else about them. Like Street Fighter 3. Like what do we really know about Oro? Like nothing. We know he's old. We know he's bored.
そうかこれオロの方
That's
が
about it.
太いんだね。回れないんだ。
It's an old bored guy.
動かないが
He can kill with this combo without meter.
そっか今ブレイブだったら届いてたよね。
あー届いてましたね。
Yes, I went to college. I have a bachelor's.
中盤踏み込んでゲージも最大限
Capcom Cup. I was surprised by K-Brad's victory over Daigo. Everything else went exactly as expected.
さあこういう泥試合ですね。なんとか回避して
I wish Justin Wong did a bit better. I always find myself rooting for Justin Wong. I don't know why.
マジか。
I like Korean. I like Justin Wong's turtle style.
ここで打ってもはめにはいけないっぽいですよね。
そっか端だったか。
そういや自分より横幅があるキャラ裏に回れるからはめれるじゃない。うわきつそう。
しゃがみダイバー。これはジャロさんできる。
ストッパーとして働いてくれました。
さあ
さあ続いて
続きます。あブレイブ。
ブレイブにしました。
これは迷って
11分の4エレナとかどんだけ偏ってるんですかね。
ほぼ半分エレナ。
Anyway, when Street Fighter, now that Street Fighter's actually kind of attempted to have a story mode, it's like hilariously cringe.
2%ぐらいしか
And every now and then they can like creep onto something endearing. But mostly it's just, it's not really characters so much as it is a scenario, if you know what I mean.
いないですね。
It's more scenario driven than character driven.
あでもそれあるな。
でしょ。
それあるわ。
普通に考えたら
The individual natures of the characters really didn't matter that much.
関東だったらそうだよね。
Rashid is probably the biggest exception.
これはなんか異常発生してる感じですからね。
最近なんか韓
I
国
guess Kami's the biggest exception.
キャラ
Kami did some very uncharacteristic things based on,
この間
I would say uncharacteristic.
ちゃんとキャラ
Kami did some things uncharacteristic of someone her job would do
勉強した。
because of her character.
もう負けらんねえと
本当にきついなと思ってたんですけど、まあまあきついなぐらいになりました。
あそういうことまあまあ
We didn't really learn anything about anyone in story mode so much as we got confirmed stuff we already knew.
あんま楽じゃないと思います。合気でやっててもね。てかもうなんかダットリーみたいな感じ、感覚としては。
なるほどちょっとなんか
飛びが超強いからそれをさばいて、
適当に触りに行くと事故りそうな感じの
てかやっぱ触られると5割減るからな。
Oof.
マニアックな
だが
戦い。
ここは昇竜拳
あれもね
We didn't know anything about Rashid, and what we learned out about Rashid from story mode was pretty
こ
fun.
こで登場で
Rashid was pretty fun.
コロさんが 1P が 2P 側 2P ってあっちだよ大丈夫
Nikele was literally a prop. Nikele was a professional jobber.
松さんの次早すぎだねコロは多分ザビさんの前かな
Wow, that cross up.
さすがマストオーダーのマストしっかり力関係把握してますねお
The EX DP hit point blank and only did 2 hits. Rashid and Fong got development,
ぐらい
and they were unsurprisingly the 2 best characters who utterly both stole the show.
いやー
Am I cool with my brother? Vaguely.
で
その位置で
Vaguely cool.
届かないぞ。
もう一回出すか
もう一
I
回
don't feel super close to him anymore,
これは
but he's like, we're friendly.
ちょっと峰打ちでヒヤヒヤしましたが、
I definitely had fun with the Street Fighter story mode. The problem was everything that wasn't good was hilariously bad, but because it was hilariously bad, I could still enjoy it.
この順番ドライさんならぬ
It wasn't boring, but it went from like okay to like awful
朝日
very rapidly.
変わってるんですかね。
多分ね回しっぷりが違うんでしょうね今日は
It was like endearingly like simple.
本日の東大戦の提供は朝日の提供でお送りしております
I feel like Fang was a very good
まあでもこれ
balance of
回したいだけなんで
dangerous and silly. I feel like he's one of the best of those that I've seen in a long time. I would say he was probably the best. He was the best characterized of anyone in the game.
今いないですねわかんない来るのかな今バーサスにはいないですよ
Gao was literally a prop.
ドライさんは酔っ払って
Chun-Li didn't fight like at all the whole game.
挨拶が飛んでますね。
はいまあ酔っ払って
Chun-Li like drove the story, I guess,
酔っ払ってるようなもんですね
but there's only like one fight with her. It seemed like it was building up Chun-Li as the important character, and then Chun-Li ended up going the entire plot without doing anything.
当たればもうギガスで
And then it's just like, well, let's have Ryu beat Bison because Ryu's the main character, right? It's like, well, maybe.
ないんじゃない
Not really.
なるほどね
Ryu is the most iconic character, but he really has nothing to do with Bison. You really feel like it should have been Nash to kill Bison, or Guile, or fucking Chun-Li, not fucking Ryu.
圏内入りましたさあここはギガスをちらつかして
Ryu was like the fucking one who it absolutely should have not been.
さあ上が通んねえぞさあもう一
You can do much better combos than that on Hugo.
回手も弾が置いてあって
ダメじゃない。オッケーオッケー
Smart.
いいですよ。
もう一個弾を出してさあここは
バンバンバン
Very smart.
うわ減らね
まあでもこれ
Yep.
PK してるから
Yep. Smart.
しっかり確定反撃
Chun-Li could have beaten Bison in Street Fighter Alpha 3. That's like her only real opportunity to have done it.
おうまいですね。
But it's not really clear who beat Bison in Alpha 3. Someone did.
いいじゃねテクキャラね
うわうまい
Very
うまい
cool.
これはきつい。パンチがもりもり溜まってぐっとよく見えてます。
しっかりああこれうまい
It felt like the entire time that Chun-Li wasn't playable for the whole game, it was like this is going to be like Chun-Li's going to be it's going to be Chun-Li against the last boss. Like in MK9, like you don't use Raiden for pretty much the entire game, and then like in the final boss battle, it's like Raiden.
きっちり回してましたよ。いやでも回すべきなんですけど。
I work part time, but I also work part time for sure. You can.
つながる。今度はオロダットリー。
オロダットリーまあこれ
Nash literally did nothing.
お互い
Nash blew up, and it killed him and not Bison.
やりたくないかもしれないですねこれね
It should have been Nash as the last fight, not Ryu. Fucking Ryu shouldn't have even been there.
まあやっぱね、ハ まりやすいですからね。
Straight up Ryu should not have been there.
さあどうなる。
I would literally have been happier for Ryu not being in the fucking game at all.
変わったダッチリーなんでどこでカニが来るかわからない。
うわ運がない。
はい。
さあ使っていく。
Just have Ryu do the entire thing he did with Nikali and then have him not show up again. And then in fucking Street Fighter Season 2 story mode, it's just like, hey guys, I fucking discovered this thing, it's called parry, I'm gonna teach you all.
早いし、
富永さんもそう思います。
ジャンプ攻撃とかも反省クソ強いし。
そうなんだよね。
I know that Ryu's the poster child and shit.
あの二段ジャンプとね、プロがね。
ダッシュもすごい強いし。
やっぱりその体力リードを奪われないようにしていきたいんですよね、まずは。まあでもそれ奪われたら触りに行かないといけない。
I literally by myself could have written a better story mode for Street Fighter 5 than the one they did.
逃げ性能が高いと思います。
I'm fairly confident of this. He can't kill here. Oh, should have done the Crota setup.
ループしないですからね、あのゲージ状況でね。
今のゲージ状況だったら殺しきれないっていう意味で止めたの
That was too early. What the fuck?
あるかもしれません。
That's unblockable. He can win right now.
これは
Just needs to get this, and this is not very hard on Dudley.
うまい。
Oh no! The block's done. It was enough.
あるのか。やれよ。
I kind of agree, and Chun-Li has a much better basis in the story. Chun-Li is actually involved with fucking all the villains.
うん、あったあったあった。うん、ツイッターでね。
And she's had like the same fucking attendance that Ryu had.
なるほど。これは
The only fucking Street Fighter game that Ryu's in that Chun-Li is not in is Street Fighter 1.
やってねえけど見てるから。
Chun-Li's in all the others. Chun-Li's there every fucking
パ
time.
トロール中にね、発見したんだ。
さあ、これはさっきジャロさん、エレン相手の圧違いましたよね。
確かに。
Let's just have Chun-Li be the main character. Let's not fucking...
変えたのかな。
そういうこと。
いやもうこれは
Let's just have Chun-Li be the main character of any game with Bison, and have fucking Ryu be the main character of any game with Akuma.
っていうのがあるのかもしれません。
Chun is an EX, yes.
相手の SA に合わせた SA の選択でした
まあ、オロ
ね。
もエレナも割と選択の余地があるキャラですからね。僕のキャラは選択の余地
I like Chun-Li, damn it.
まあでも
She's a good character.
そういうキャラですよね。
She was only in Third Strike, yes.
でこれは
That doesn't work. He was just meter building. I think he had full meter. I don't know why he did that. Ruined his Onoki time.
さあこっからですよね。この体力
発動するでしょう。
体力リードを奪う
Ryu has a stake in the plot when fucking Akuma's the villain.
うまいですね。
Chun-Li has a stake in the plot when fucking Bison's the villain. Or like Guile.
10割離れちゃった。
Or anyone else who hates Bison.
あっと
Not Ryu.
やばいんじゃねえの。
Ryu doesn't hate Bison.
わあだがもう一回これは
Ryu just thinks Bison's a dick.
美味しかった？
なんとも言えない。
なんとも言えない。
本当は天狗で殺す。
Sean was very nearly the main character.
さあここは勝負
I have no opinion on the Dakota access pipeline.
うわー強い。
大きに引っかかって
EX の山がクソ強いから、
うん
しゃがみ待ちされてると本当はエレナ側も結構めんどくさいんですよね。
そうだね。この置き技がね、やっぱネックなんですよね。
そう。
さあ、ジャロさんのゲージがあって
Guile probably has the best motivation against
だがまあヒーリング
二段
against Bison.
うまい。
Technically speaking, it's more personal to have Bison kill your dad than
なるほど。
貯める。
これ難しいとこですよね。
have Bison kill your coworker. So Chun-Li should hate Bison more than Guile does. But we've had a lot more development on who the fuck Nash is. And we've had a lot more, like, you know, Guile still holding on to revenge or whatever.
後ろ投げの後に
そうだ。
レベル1発動。
So Guile is, I feel like, a better villain for Bison. And also just, Guile has a better, like, counter personality to Bison.
ダメか。
Bison is this kind of, like, jovial, like, grinning villain kind of thing.
はい。
And Guile's the most dour man in the universe.
調子悪い。
They've got a good little dichotomy.
さあここで登場が浦島さん。浦島太郎さんの登場です。さあ
太郎さんはやったことあるんですかね、エレナと。
まあでもどうなんでしょうかね。
いやでもちゃんと合ってるっぽい。
合ってる
I would pay money to fight Kuroda.
お
There's actually implication that it's Gen that did it.
合わない感じがちょっと浦島さんによって
It's not. We don't actually know who the fuck killed that guy. Chun-Li's dad.
基本的に割と 中盤が当たんないぐらいの
It was originally stated to be Bison,
あこれはでもエレナがおめでとう
but it's implied to have been Gen.
めくりか
Or even if it wasn't Gen that did it, Gen knows the full scenario in which it happened.
どこが裏か分かんなくなるみたいなことを言ってましたよ
マジで
あは
オートめくりジャンプ中
だからランダムって言ってた
Drop this combo.
本当なのかよくわかんないんですけどそれ結構きついっぽいですね
それ終わってますね
Gen knows the full scenario in which Chun-Li's dad died and owes Chun-Li a debt of
浦島さんは
浦島さんは間違ってたんです
I don't know, a debt of some variety.
動いただけです
サ
ね
ブロッキング
Gen is also Chinese like Chun-Li and a professional assassin
ゲージ上
who at a time was evil.
ワンチャンダウン取れればさあ足足に陣雷が仕込んである怖い
惜しい
It is heavily implied, but not stated, in Street Fighter 4 that Gen was the one who did it,
さあ表裏は裏
but we don't know.
見えてるな
ナイスガード
I'm pretty sure Lee's still alive. Gen's Lee's father, I think.
飛びが入った
エレナ火力高いんですよねあーっとふわっと投げが漏れた感じかただこれは
ちょっと
ただもうブレイブたまれば一発圏内ですかねこれおーあっぶね
Lee is, I think, either Yan and Yang's uncle or Yan and Yang's dad, but I don't remember which. And Gen is Yan and Yang's grandfather.
これは
クニさんどっちのチームに入りたい
It's not that Gen isn't evil, it's just that he's absolved himself.
ここ
He has done things to overcome his crimes.
はい白黒さんと戦いたいという国さんがいるので
はい
リーダーの意向を無視してますけどいいんですかね
はい
俺ら
リーダー完全に無視でしたね
Why are you asking these questions?
我々のパワーでねじ込んでいきましたね
はいというわけでトミニーの前にねじ込みました
はいさあこれ最後のエレナですねキラキーさんさあでも浦島さんこれやりづらそうガードがやっぱ硬いんでねキラキー君もそしてブレイブ選択してるどうなんだろうこれうわ勝利
さあいいですね
からの
Gen and Bison probably had nothing to do with each other, but they might have, I
お
guess.
互いボタンを押しません
Also, it's not really clear how old Bison is, or also who the fuck Bison is. We know at some point in the past that Bison had an operation to remove his good side, and he probably did that when he was already an adult.
やめろよそういうこと言うのやめろよ
いつも当たりじゃん
そうだね確かに俺らいつも当たるんだよな
うわー変な読み合いになってますよ
And that good side then got put into literally, quote, an embryo, and that embryo is now a woman in her 30s. So, Bison's probably pretty old. Bison's probably at least in his 50s, probably older.
すぐ怒って
そうだね
角半っぽくなったりするから
あれがねカス当たりがねちょっともったいないんだよね
そうなんですよねいやてか当たり方悪いとブルコン食らうからね
そっか
うわこれはいいですねやるしかない
やるしかないと
変で4割ですからね俺のキャラ6割減りますからね
確かに
減りすぎやばいあこれはスピニングが出ない
Nice. Oh, must have been a nice parry.
ここはちょっと最後ブロッキングミスったが体力リードキープわあこれはまずいぞこれでさあじゃんけんぽん
今のは素直にめっちゃ
My own business making content for the internet.
当て投げが通って松田っちさんの勝利ザビさんを信じてあげてよさあここで
The name of my favorite teacher,
チュンリーと
Derek. Or did you want the whole name? Now if I give you the whole name, it'll sell him out.
強くなりましたね
ここでチュンリーがね頑張ると
まあでもこんな大変なところに来ちゃったけどでもチュンリーだしタロチンさんだしみたいなここはなんとか抜いてくれるでしょううわ
They did a fairly good job recreating these two in Street Fighter 5.
辛いぞ剣側は
そしてこれは
They feel spiritually like all the good parts and none of the bad
これリー
parts.
チですね確実にうわ早い
It feels the same in this game getting your shit pushed in by Kenzie X Tatsu as it does in Street Fighter 4. I mean in Street Fighter 5.
そうですね先週ザビさん強かったですからね
あそうだったんですね
はい
僕はちょっと R の部屋に入れてたんで
My social security number has at least 17 in it.
さあここは本戦パクってるで
I don't drink wine or any alcohol. Rufus has no relevance to literally anything. There's this one random little subplot of the strongest men in the world. No, strongest man in America. That's going on during all of the Street Fighter games. The current strongest man in America is Ken. Prior to Ken, the strongest man in America was Nash, but Nash stopped winning when he died. So now it's Ken. Guile has a lot of resentment to Ken. I don't know if Guile enters the fucking strongest man in America tournaments, American World Warrior tournaments. But even if he does, Ken wins them. But Guile has a lot of resentment towards Ken for being the new strongest man in America after Nash. Also, Guile and Ken are brothers-in-law, and there's probably some resentment there for that as well. Guile thinks Ken is a lazy prep. Lazy's the wrong word. Prep is also the wrong word. Some spoiled asshole. I live in SoCal. Bison's more than evil guy who wants power. Bison wants immortality. That's interesting. Bison doesn't want to just be the king of everything. Oof. No, I live near Fullerton, which is southeast of LA. Anyway, Rufus is competing to be the strongest man in America in that contest, in that World Warrior tournament, American World Warrior. Rufus is like the next strongest after Ken. Rufus is like the new second place. And Rufus like deeply resents that, so he's trying to find Ken and beat him. He's trying to take his place as the strongest man in America. Rufus is probably actually strong as fuck, seeing as he's the second strongest man in America. But he's also dumb as fuck. And partially because of that, he can't even find Ken. All the lore points to Rufus actually being strong. Oh, that Crouch Roundhouse would have done so much damage. She's dead. Beautiful. Also, Dan is theoretically quite strong compared to the average human. You have to remember that the average human is like Peter tier in the Street Fighter universe. And Dan, with his incredibly poor training and incredibly bad work ethic, is still way stronger than most humans. I don't know who Dawn is. And I don't know where Dawn's arcade is. Sagat threw the fight. Dan never beat Sagat. Sagat realized that fighting for revenge was fucking stupid. So he like pretended to lose. Just so that Dan would stop like chasing after like this petty idea of revenge. Dan is actually a super important character for Sagat because Dan is the reason that Sagat realized that he was being like a villain.
ころはちょっとレバーが効かないからあれだな、それで温まっちゃってるね。
でもこれアーツがちげえんじゃねえのそもそも。
あ、そういうこと。石。
Ugh, that hurt me.
あれこれいいのかな。
じゃあザビさんお願いします。
これあんまりやっぱ
It wasn't the greatest time to activate. It was a very obvious super too,
一ラレンの好きって言ってたもん。
but Aura didn't even have a good punish to be blocked that.
その太陽の光当たってな
でも
いでしょ。
これ俺査定が入るからこれ
あ
ちゃんとやってないと。
はい。あ、ちゃんと
There's a lot of room in Street Fighter 5 for an idea of like a lethal joke character. They could have a lot of fun with that.
常に首がかかってる。
I'd like for them to add Dan.
それに喜んでるあいつはただのド M ですね。さあうまい。まあ理想のことは大竜巻なんですけどね。
さあ厳しいマストのチェックが。
When you drink the eggnog,
副将ザビさん、とりあえず1ラウンド取って。さあ2ラウンド目、まあゲージ状況もまあいいですね。
yep, there it is again.
対空メッパ。
Anti-air DP, super.
そのお褒めの言
危ない危ない。
Safe on parry,
葉いる
combos on hit,
ちょっと自分から
invincible, so
力ですね。
I'll jump into text loose to it.
自分で行くなと。
Pretty strong.
下手な人ですね。
Kind of goes against the
仕切り直して。
まあその前に100
the
ないんで。
design philosophy of Third Strike though.
そうですね、ちょっと指導、教育的指導入れるしかないですね。
Yes, I've traveled outside the United States a lot.
無理しなくていい。そう。
I'm actually English,
無理をしない。だからゲージがないので、
まあああいう時もう相手のゲージ
but I was born in Illinois
そういう時はもう
to two English parents.
たまること無視していいから灼熱出して超有利を稼ぐとか削れば削ってくれても別にいいし灼熱の方がいいですかねああいう時は残空とかじゃなくて
And I was raised in America, so I don't really have much of an accent. But I have an intricate knowledge of British slang
じゃんけん。
and also British culture.
前に近づかれちゃったのがやっぱダメージだでしょうねザルの弱点でこの間あいつにも直接 LINE で言ったんですけど
はい。
歩いて前を詰めて
Both my parents are immigrants. They moved to America from Canada. I moved to Canada from London.
出せるんですよ
あ、じゃあ仕
やっ
留めた。
てないんですよプレッシャーのかけ方に地上で歩くっていうのが
My dad was born in London. My mom was born in Portsmouth.
そうですねまあ今のはいいでしょうあこれは空中竜巻とかおうまい
さあこれはわかんねえぞ。
あこれは
ゲージ状況と
有利だと思いますねこの状況は
とりあえずゆっくり画面を押してって。
うまい
ああこれ。
Very nice confirm. Hey, combo!
分かったのでブロブロブロガードガードガード
That's why that's not a good confirm.
ザビさんしっかり止めて。わい。
Fireball Super is really inconsistent for most of the characters. Not for most. For Ryu and Akuma, Fireball Super 1 is really inconsistent.
こ
I ended up in SoCal because if you have money and you live in America, SoCal is pretty much the place to go.
星で並ぶためにはあと2人倒さなきゃいけないのかこれは
ですね。YSB さんを倒
It's actually expensive as fuck to live here.
うまい最大ですねちゃんとやってますあこれもメッパちゃんと出てる
I'd love to live somewhere else where the minimum wage was as high, but the cost of living was way lower.
これは一応その対空メンバーをしっかり
そうです
減らないと思いつつも
いやいや全然いいんです
減るんだね。
いや何だったら減ります別にいいんです
うわこれは
これは
I'm out of minimum wage anyway, so it doesn't matter.
アシュラでいいよ
なるほど。そうかアシュラ
The cost of living in California is so bullshit.
今の状況はもうダメですね
It honestly sucks. I used to live in Georgia for a time, and we had a house built for us. Okay? Like literally built for us.
わかんねえなんで
Like we were moving in,
なんで押したんだ。
and it's like a fucking big house. It had like a fucking like a forest in the backyard with like a creek.
あでもちなみに今みたいなやつ
And we would see, like, deer and shit.
なんか100機を仕込む
It was fucking a giant piece of land, and it was a 3-story house, and it cost like 250K. And it was just like fucking. This is some of the most expensive housing in all of Georgia.
ところで押すボタンには
And now you live like deep in Linden, California. You have like a fucking 700K house. It's just like what the fuck.
ちょっと小竜巻の方が良かった
California's not even that good. It's a shitty place. Like yeah, you don't really have that many natural disasters, but it doesn't rain. You don't have any weather. It's just always temperate, and it's fucking dry as
こ
shit.
れからあいいですとりあえず逃げて。
あれね
This place is so goddamn dry.
かかんないんで
そっかあれブロックもなんもないの。
I miss rain.
何が入るんだ。
This place is just a desert that we're all pretending isn't a desert.
これね
We get less than 10 inches of rain a year. The natural fucking landscape is sand, hilly sand, hilly dirt, hilly dry ass dirt.
しょうがない
上を見ていた。
Fucking all of the plants are introduced.
さんが倒れて
効果力なので
I do like snow, and there's no snow here. There's snow if you go inland or a higher altitude. I could go up north to Big Bear and get snow fairly easily.
こないだね、結構
I love that combo.
ボコボコにされてたからね。
First and last hit of Hard Tatsu enables the juggle.
いいですね。
12か。
俺10対3ぐらいいくんじゃないかと思ってたんですけどね。
あんま変わんないですね。
そうですね。
Yeah, of all the natural disasters, earthquakes are probably some of the least bad ones, though.
押されてる。
Earthquakes are usually just like, wow, I wasn't expecting that, and also that's mildly annoying.
これ全然 OK。
We used to have tornado watches in Georgia, and that was shitty and bad.
この組み合わせも
I'd rather have earthquakes and tornadoes any day of the week.
いやどっちもどっちだと思います。まあやっぱ単純に火力と
I live outside a place where I'm in danger of mudslides.
火力差で
Droughts are pretty shit.
ユンが強いんじゃねえのっていう結局触りに来なきゃいけないからユン側もそこでなんか取られたりすると死にますからね。
そっか。
言うほどきつくない。
じゃあまあそこそお互い勝負になると合気が
Should have been a dash punch. That's probably gonna hit.
お
Yup.
当たってたわすげえ。
確定していたのか。
これででも
You can't angle Akuma's fireballs in this game. Also, that he really needed that.
出なかった計算
これで
コンボが出なかっ
置き攻め2連発で読み負けたら死にます。
Um,
た。おー逃げられない。
honestly, America has been America for me.
難しい。
I haven't noticed a significant difference in the quality of the human beings anywhere I've lived.
ちょっともったいない。
Except Mississippi. I lived in Mississippi for a bit, and everyone there was genuinely pretty dumb.
ゴールじゃありません。
現役最強はマスターで大丈夫ですね。
People in Georgia and the people in California are honestly like fucking nearly the same
こう
thing.
いうやつ倒してさ、帰らないとやっぱり面白くないじゃん。
格闘家みたいな声を聞こえましたけど店の中から。
さあこれは
さあクニさん
クリさん、
ザビにやられてたら戦えませんよ白黒さんに。
ザビさんを倒したご褒美に白黒さんと戦えると、そういうことですね。
But sincerely, the people in Mississippi are kind of dumb.
ザビさん応援してるよ。
It is like it's like fucking everyone in Mississippi has like fucking strong opinions on shit they don't know anything about.
これ減りますねこれ。
まあぶっちゃけこれで5分ぐらいか若干
And also everyone has shitty educations.
だろうな。シンクロだったら5有利って言えるんですけどね。レンジンはやっぱり
あ
ちょっとやばいですよね。
ーね、スタンチの関係でやっぱりね。
生さん
I'm not even talking about like fucking
9割5分ぐらいたまんのかな。
like politics like it's the only qualifying thing.
きっちり確認。
No, I don't mean dumb like I mean genuinely dumb. People are often like dumb.
実は沖縄からお越しの白黒さんがいらっしゃいます。
Like uninformed but also stupid sometimes.
誰が倒すかそういうこと。
Usually uninformed but also stupid.
残空あるからね、あれ。しかも残空でちょっと止まるから、あのタイミングでもちゃんと卓になってると思います。
しっかり。さあこれザビさん。
That was a very nice red parry, and that's why low forward fireball is not so good in this game.
これ読み合いなんですよね。アシュラ選挙リバー
そうか、
サで
シャッキーとかもあるんで。
No, none of the villains are strong enough to destroy the Earth in Street Fighter universe.
理想を言うと、コアコパコア波動電池とか、
All of them just talk up a storm.
波動電池とか、
なるほど。
ブロしかできないあるじゃないですか。
うんうんうん。
これやばい。
やっちゃったか？
The Earth is really big.
おー
Akuma can barely fucking split mountains.
強気に前に走っていく。
中国じゃねえの。
なんだったんだろうね。
立ち置きをやる理由があんまりないから。あ、これ
Love that combo.
繋がった。コアコアしっかりガード。おー、投げドラップ。引っかかった。
Meaty X fireball is safe on parry. That was quite intelligent.
ザビさん首？
ザビさん首ですね。
ザビさん首になっちゃった。じゃあ大将白。さあここで大将
沖縄の兵庫チュンリー。
沖縄からの資格。国さんは白黒さんとやりたいというふうに言ってたんで。
I don't know how I feel about Cody being like super powerful. I guess.
うまく立つことができるか。だが白黒さん
Cody does have some pretty nice achievements under his belt, and he is a cameo character from another franchise. Thus, it's kind of okay for him to be hyper powerful.
きついぞこれは。バイバイ。
But I think there's literally more evidence of Sakura being powerful than fucking Cody, though.
着地には投げが置いてあって。
基本的には竜って横押しできる技がないから、
はい。
マジできついんですよね。
あー、これはい
や
ちょっと
あこれで大丈夫。
おー。さあ
応用が溜まってない状況だとやっぱちょっとチュンリーでも怖いですからね。
Akuma destroyed an island, but it was Third Strike Akuma. And Third Strike Akuma is supposed to be the strongest iteration of Akuma, because it's the latest one.
さあここはグラップ。
We don't know that it wasn't Shinakuma who did that.
さあグラフしやすい。
これは
Shinakuma and Akuma look exactly the fucking same back then. You can just freely transform back and forth.
無理はし
さ
ない。
あこれでゲージが溜まって。
Cody took down Mad Gear almost by himself, with only the help of a professional wrestler and a ninja. He took down a fucking citywide gang. Aura's cannon power is not stated, it's just supposed to be quite high. It's high enough to make Akuma wary, that's all we know. Aura might be way stronger, he might be way weaker, we do not know. We just know that it made Akuma nervous.
うわギリギリあと1ミリで中腰が当たるみたいな。なんだこれ。
足払いしか入んないからね。
で移動投げ。
さあクニさん。
クニさんがやられたんで。
止めに行ってらっしゃい。
Thanks.
ワンピー側がトミニーで、ツーピー側が沖縄の白黒さんですね。副将大将対決です。
Tominaga's on screen, and I'm getting tired. Tominaga being on screen means it's almost, this video must almost be over.
展開で、おおしゃがぐらつしゃがみコパンから発見。これはもう殺せる状況までになってからの発動か。唐草決まってトミニーが一本先制してこれ。
I don't know. I don't know what that means. I think it's the character used for second highest, second last person on the team. It probably has some metaphorical meaning. It probably means like fucking sub-chief.
チュンリー側は一本縦にゲージを貯めていく。トミニーはどっかの段階でぶっ放してもいいんじゃないでしょうかね、コさん。今なら砲力を使わせて死ねます。
I feel like the thing about Third Strike that caused everyone to go back to it for a really long fucking time is the fact that, like, new games don't give the same sensation it does. And I feel like much more so Street Fighter 5 gives the same sensation of Street Fighter 4. So I think the number of people going back is going to be far lower. Very nice. I'm not gonna say I've never been interested in versus games, but thus far, I've never played any of the versus games competitively. If they make a CVS 3, I'll probably play it, like, competitively. Probably be my new main game. But Marvel 4, probably not. SF4 certainly won't be forgotten. It's gonna have, like, a little bit. That was cool. Regular Fukiaga is really hard to use. They need an Alpha 4. Fuck this revival bullshit. We need the best things of both. Also, A2 is cancer as fuck, and anyone who thinks it's not cancer is, like, doesn't know anything about it. If you're standing and the opponent activates in Alpha 2, they can hit you low before you can crouch block. This means that literally the act of standing is incredibly risky. That's as dumb, if not dumber, than crouch cancel infinites. A lot of people love Street Fighter 4, but they just, you know, when everyone moves, everyone else moves. It's a sweeping effect. Also, a lot of people are trying to give the new game a chance. About that time. About the time I went to bed.